every time I'm moving up, I'm knocked down a couple of steps. And every time I'm moving fast and on my way to making that cash, I find a block in my road. And it's just so draining. So painful to see my goals at finger touch reach, but can't seem to get a grasp of something that could complete me. And I'm told hard work will take you a long way, and hard work will bring you exactly where you want to be one day. But you know what? Hard work doesn't seem to be working out the way you say. And when I reminisce on all the things I've sacrificed for all the things I've wanted in life, it's just so draining. So mentally, physically, emotionally draining. Now I'm starting to think I'm not cut out for this. It's just not for me. I'm not fit to be the person I strive to be. But then I get a hold of myself and I ask myself, who am I? I am who I strive to see. And now at this very moment, I know I am way too strong, way too empowered to ever give up. I feel like no one nor anything can step in my path and get in the way of what's important to me and what I strive to be. And those are the things that keep me going. And those are the things that keep my path clear in sight. And those are the things that make every move worth the fight. Now, this was never about being cut out or even being knocked down. It was about your dreams and your goals being worth the hard work, being worth the dedication, your time and your efforts. And it's finally time to set myself free because I am so absolutely tired of being my own worst enemy.
There's this enthusiasm and this motivation from administrators and from staff to be able to seek out creative ways to create programs to actually help students not only continue to grow through their academics, but also on a very personal and very personal level to help them develop social skills, to help them develop leadership skills, and to be able to think out of the box. So last year, Ms. Polakowski asked some of the teachers to come together and be part of a pilot program called Future 10, which Future 10 is a program designed for sophomore students who show some potential of leadership, but they just haven't had the opportunities yet to actually harness the leadership potential that they may have. Help them to gain skills in self-efficacy and actually gain leadership skills that they may not have seen in themselves.
I knew there were people like me, struggling and faking smiles. I knew there were people like me, and somehow I still felt completely alone.
And one of the things that we want to do through this program is allow them to feel that they have this space, they have this platform, and that what they have to say can actually make a difference and actually make change, not only here in school, but in their families, throughout the staff, and also into the community. So after brainstorming with them and discussing different ideas, the students narrowed it down and decided that hosting a school-wide poetry slam event would be able to actually highlight the feelings that students here at school could actually express in a very poetic and passionate way. Dr. Shalop assisted us in creating the sponsorship this year for our slam, and he reached out to Pinnacle Federal Credit Union, and they were very excited to sponsor our event this year. They donated $500 to our program, and they were very enthusiastic and supportive about not only supporting this Poetry Slam event, but they've been seeking out a way to create a relationship with our school and actually sponsor other events as well. And we're very thankful for their support and for their presence in our programs here, because without that sponsorship, without that community support, we wouldn't be able to have such rewarding programs here for our students at JP Stevens.
All right. March 11th, 2001, an unwanted child was born. Born at home, but left in a hospital in hopes to find a parent to care for baby girl on their own. When baby girl finally found a mother, she was just 3 days old. Baby girl now had a story to be told. Baby girl just doesn't know right now how much he is blessed. Blessed enough to bless the best or less, but nevertheless, blessed because somebody loves her. Loved her enough to take her in and fill in the place of what she was missing. Missing a mother. Because the woman who gave birth to her was not able to be that significant other. But all that doesn't matter. Because baby girl finally has a mother. Baby girl is 3 years old now. Her adoption has been finalized. Baby girl has finally realized that this is my real mother. 15 years later, baby girl finally stands on stage to tell her story. Because guess what? I am baby girl, and this is my story. And I thank my biological mother for doing what was best for me. I, baby girl, am blessed. Blessed enough to bless the best or less, but nevertheless, blessed to have a mother of color who is that significant other.
When we proposed the idea of stress as the theme, we as the committee posed questions of how do you deal with stress? How do you overcome the stresses in your life? And what helps you get through every day? Because there are so many different types of stresses. So speak on a stress that is relevant to you and tell us how you cope. How do you get through it? I was curious to see what type of poems we would get based on that topic. I thought it might be a lot of poems just very depressing and sad, right? And maybe no solution. But what amazed me most about these poems is that they gave us a story, and they took us through the minds of our students at JP, things that are so personal that we don't know what they're walking around carrying on their shoulders and coming to school with, and then having to go through their everyday. And when they created these poems that were so deep and personal and actually had this hope to them, that they actually had already come up with solutions on how to overcome the stress that they feel in their life, I felt it was empowering.
I am drowning in a vast sea of work, turning page after page, finding it hard to express myself when this desk feels like a cage. And in this dark, squalid cell, I'm shackled to the wall, told to dream big and feeling very, very small. In this prison, my ID number is a score, my SAT or my last test. It feels that I'm judged by nothing more. The thought of college pangs constantly in my mind like clamorous brazen bells. My name has become a number, just a number in a pile in this dark, lonely cell. You're encaged by new drama or a secret being spread. Friendships begin to fade, thinning like fragile thread. You feel alone in this prison, in this madhouse that you don't want to be split apart. A companion lost cuts you like a blade, leaving a searing pain in your heart. Feeling alone, I find solace in perfecting my art. Music is now my voice. Intertwined like chain link fence, we can never come apart. It's like a distant dream to imagine yourself performing up on stage someplace when the only career options your parents present are doctor, engineer, or disgrace. But practice is my probation, and jazz alleviates the anguish. As one would learn to speak Spanish or French, music is how I communicate. Jazz has become my language. The caged songbird sits in its cage, singing its little heart away. peering out of that cell window only to be met by bleak, cloudy skies of gray. It's a struggle to reach my goals, saving up nickels and dimes, and even harder to find a job when you just haven't got the time. Yes, auditions, interviews, exams, they make my heart race like a stallion in my chest. But the shining sun of the outside world glimmers through these barred iron windows of stress. Step 1, acknowledgement. Yes, I am stressed. The vast sea of work offers no rest. I have teachers, friends, family to impress, and tomorrow yields yet another test? But I digress. Every day we live is a test, so I'll be all right. Step 2, resolution. Yes, I am stressed, but now my mind is at rest. I feel that I, the caged songbird, can finally fly free, escaping this prison, this birdcage, this confining nest. To better myself and to grow, that is my everyday quest. Sure, there's a lot to worry about, but I'll be all right. Step 3, pursuance. Yes, I was stressed. I felt like a mere pawn in a never-ending game of chess, but I know that I can persevere when pressed, and I will be all right. It seems it's not so bad in this once wretched cell. At one point, the walls caved in, and now every day they seem to swell. The barred door slides open. You're done with your trial. The key to this towering door, to escaping this prison, can be as simple as a smile. Yes, a smile, that's all it really takes when you feel that you've got a huge weight on your shoulders and that you're going to break. I remain positive and my burden diminishes, lingering less and less, and I think of how I'm blessed to relieve my stress.
Because it was their original poem, they could come up and speak from their heart and actually express themselves in ways that I think even surprised their parents, their friends, and most importantly, they surprised themselves. And I felt that as their advisor and going through the process with them to get to the point of being up here on stage, getting through that nervous time, I was blown away during the slam, listening to each and every one of those poets who now they can see themselves as a talented poet, where before they were just a student submitting a poem, expressing the stress in their life.
Look at me. I'm a mess. Whether he's right or wrong, there's no regrets. He's gone, and I'm depressed. One thing I've learned to do is just take a deep breath. His world was fading to a dark gray. His father said that I should stay away. His friends tried to mold him like clay. Yet, just the other day, he called to say, hey. He says I cause him stress. Everyone around him thinks that I'm no success. They all think that I need help because I used to smoke and cut myself. But I'm not like that anymore. I'm wiser, and I've learned how to shut my mouth as if it were an open door. Something that he has not yet mastered, and I don't need him telling people things that I did not expect him to answer. I'm not confident, that I confess. I may not be perfect, but I've tried my best. And here I am, stronger than I've ever been before. I'm not as immature like I was when he and I first met. And whether or not he still wants to be friends, I'm a better person. I've made my amends.
We want to hear them. We want to hear what they have to say and what's going on in their minds at the age that they're in, at the generation that they are at this point. We want to hear them. And this is a place where it gives them that space to feel that they are heard. It's these types of programs that actually allow us to create relationships with the students, to actually help them know that they're not just here for the academics. They're here to be a part of something bigger. They're here to also make connections and actually create change where they are, even in school. So hopefully when they leave and they graduate, they'll remember back on this experience and feel confident in their ability and their skills to actually make change beyond school and actually in the community.
6 letters. STRESS. And they never go away, no matter how many times you stuff your head in a pillow, no matter how many times you repeat them. 4 letters. LOVE. Repeat them again and again, and I love you turns into I hate you. Repeat them over and over, and they lose meaning every time. But stress enters your home uninvited, sits on your shoulders, refusing to leave. They say the mind has over 6 billion cells, but I guess none of those cells know how to handle 4 quizzes, 3 projects, 2 essays, and 1 paper, all on the same day. All 6 billion cells seem to forget how to work the minute you step up to your locker on the first day of high school. What was my combo again? And all 6 billion cells can find the volume of every planet in the universe, but they seem to combust the minute you have to find a way to tell your mom you forgot to do the laundry. Again. So you can drown yourself in extra large sweatshirt, fill the butterflies in your stomach with spoonfuls of chocolate chip cookie dough, turn a blind eye to the clock that ticks away at your procrastination. But those 6 uninvited letters, STRESS, will always be there when that Sunday night 12 a.m. tick snaps you back to reality. And yeah, good morning may be a stretch, but I'm lucky to wake up on a bed. I may have to fake a smile when someone says, "How are you?" but I have people that care. So those 6 uninvited letters, STRESS, may enter my home uninvited, but they will be greeted by people that care, by people that love me, by people that will take the load off my shoulders and place it on theirs. No matter how many quizzes knock this smile off my face, no matter how many bills try to squeeze themselves into my mailbox, I will always only count 4 letters, LOVE.
It's one thing for them to actually write a poem on paper. It's another thing for them to actually gain the skill to perform the poem live in front of a whole audience. So the preparation is, their poem is selected out of over 40 poems that have been submitted throughout the school. The top 20 poems are selected, and then those students are actually guided through workshops on how to then perfect their performance skills and their public speaking skills. So students who typically could be introverts finally have the chance and have the assistance to practice their skill of standing up and performing in front of others.
In the hollowed halls of the high school hospital, an ill-planned pregnancy, doctors bent on delivering a woman out of the child who entered there 4 years ago. A mother sits waiting, smoothing the wrinkles of her baby's heavy load. She sets a cup of warm milk from the stove beside a freshly sharpened pencil and whispers, "Just a little longer." The doctors, teachers, administrators administer tests just to check for certain that the baby will be born right. 100%. Tests. Multiple choice, short answer, essays graded on a 9-point scale. You get half credit, so fake it till you make it. Not amniocentesis, no fluids being drawn, only the worn out tears of migrants, past, present, and future. Passionate life's blood being sucked up into a grimy syringe tainted with a metallic taste of mathematical misery. Frustration brewing, competition overflowing. The Scantron comes back with an A+. She's doing just fine, they say with a smile. First trimester, first semester, the first 10 miles of this workaholic marathon passes, and all the child can think is, too many people in front of me, too many people beside me, not enough people behind me. Run faster, ask your mother for the new Barron's 2016 SAT prep book, now with 8 extra tests. Oh wait, scratch that, she got it for your birthday. The umbilical cord begins to fray from the strain of conveying limitless information on the limits of math equations, but not the limits of human beings and their capacity for exhaustion, her incapacity for comprehension, her inability to understand her own devastating feelings and emotions that are threatening to expel the practical thoughts, the English quote that she needs to memorize. She's losing oxygen, cohesion, creation, herself to memorize facts in textbooks, facts that she will only remember within the 20 minutes before and after the test. Test. Her pencil shakes. The milk grows cold. She can't stop thinking, breathing in jealousy instead of camaraderie, thinly veiled ambition flowing through her veins. Instead of sustenance, she is fueled by desperation, looming expectations. The little hungry caterpillar doesn't want to become a butterfly. She just wants to curl up in her untouched sheets, spin a cocoon, and die in her sleep. Sleep. Counting sheep. Instead of counting sheep, she counts all the hours of sleep she got. could get if she just stopped counting. 1, 2, 4.0, 2400, 1600, 190, 80, 70, 60, failure, error. She jolts awake and back into the nightmare. She can't stop. Abortion is not an option. And the mother stands back and wonders if this is how all pregnancies go. Birth pangs, morning sickness, her youthful progeny faking illness, no fever, no temperature, just stone cold fear, anxiety tying her mind into knots with thoughts the shape of integral equations, bile lining the back of her throat, the familiar desire to throw up, just for the sake of having an actual excuse. Terror tying her hands with the words that no one is saying, the competition that no one started, the never-ending race to the finish line. You're almost there, they cheer as she nears the end. Back of the pack, last to hand in her chest, the children lag beside her, each struggling to get through this lonely, tightening birth canal. Darkened tunnel, running, running, running. Home stretch, her breath quakes in her chest. She pushes herself one last time. A miscarriage, they say. It happens every so often. And the mother cradles the head of her broken child, delivered into the world, stillborn. Thank you.
Superstar.